Hi folks, welcome to the Prepared Homestead. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch. Well, the weather here is actually really nice right now. There was some warnings of severe weather possibly today, and it looks like that storm's moving more south. So we'll probably get some later on this afternoon, but it doesn't look like it's going to be as bad here as predicted. But right now, man, the humidity's dropped. Little breeze, bright sunny sky, so it's a really nice morning starting off. So guess what happened last night on the World War III topic? Nothing happened. A lot of hype and panic yesterday. It appeared as if the United States was going to become directly involved in the war. And while it still very much could be, there was no announcement to that. There was a lot of, it seemed to be almost, and it went on and on for a while. That there was these news reports that the president was going to speak. There's going to be this big announcement. Now they're saying that's going to happen today. That there's an announcement going to happen today. That they're still poring over decisions to be made. President apparently spoke on the phone with Benjamin Netanyahu. And everything still looks like that the United States is going to become directly involved in this. There's a lot of, I don't know how else to put it, a lot of propaganda being put out by the White House. In fact, there has been an email that they have sent out to conservative talking heads, social media influencers and everything. And it's literally just talking points of, supporting the fact that, the president's position has never changed when it comes to dealing with Iran by taking out their nuclear facilities. And they're also trying to spin it that, if the United States flies in and we blow up their nuclear facilities, that's not us engaging in an act of war against them. That's okay. Even though if any other nation on this planet flew into our airspace and took out any of our nuclear facilities, that would be considered an act of war. Anyway, so that's going on. There is just an immense amount of back and forth propaganda. And of course, we have come to expect that in this internet social media age of it's just a lot. News is reporting that Israel seems to be running out of defensive missiles. I'm sure that's, try to get the United States to send some more to help. Israel is saying that Iran is running out of their missile systems. Maybe if they both run out of missiles, this will just stop. I mean, that's possible, right? Hope you can that could happen. Iran keeps saying that they've got a whole lot more to show and that they're going to be devastating and destructive. They're going to blow Israel off the map. But, my goodness, they've been saying that for 50 years. They also are saying that if the United States gets involved anyway, that they will then turn on U.S. interests and assets, which there's a lot for them to hit in the Middle East. The question a lot of people have is, is Iran being hit as bad as it seems? Are they, because on one hand, it looks like that Israel is really taking out a lot of their stuff. On the other hand, if you look at the actual numbers, Iran still has a lot of arsenal left. And maybe they're playing a similar game of Israel by making it look like they're being defeated, with the hopes that Russia and Pakistan and someone else will jump in and be part of this. This is what I've been telling you, that this is all, I believe, just another orchestrated deal. They got to drag this out, and make it look bad. Does Israel have the ability? I mean, if you just look at the numbers, if you look at how many planes they have, at least what's been reported, what you can find online. If you look at the amount of planes, the amount of missiles, bombs, and I'm not even talking nuclear, that they have, could they go in and just bomb the snot out of Iran? Yeah. Same way, though, If you look at what Iran has, and if they just threw everything they have at Israel, could they overwhelm their defenses and just potentially level the country? On paper, both could do that, but they're not doing that. Even when you hear the reports of the heavy bombing, the heavy missile strikes, it's either side, it's not as heavy as it seems. And I'm not saying that there's not destruction being done. Absolutely, there's destruction being done on both parts. So it's very likely, I think, whether they're in agreement or not, both sides are kind of dragging this out so that it'll present the opportunity for other people to be involved. I don't know. It's just, I guess you could say it's a theory, because it makes no, like, it doesn't benefit either side. I can't think of a reason that it would, like a really good reason, that it would benefit either side for them to drag this out, except for that, right? Israel is dragging this out, yes, doing some damage, but at the same time, they got to make it look like that they're taking on a lot of damage, that this is taking longer than expected, because they need help, right? They want the United States to be involved. And Iran is doing the same thing. And I think that that's part of the orchestrated plan. It's not so much that they're doing that with the hopes that the United States or Russia will get involved, is that they're all doing this so that they can sell this story to the world that, well, obviously either the United States has to get involved. We can't allow Israel to get bombed and destroyed that much. So now all the people that support Israel be like, all right, we have to be involved in it. And then the same thing with the Iranian side. All the people that support Iran, well, we can't allow Iran to get blown away. So we got, it's okay for Russia and Pakistan, China, and everyone else to get involved. This is what I'm telling you, folks. This is how this works. And then what this is doing, it is disrupting and chaotic world, and I promise you, it's going to open the doorway for, in the future, whether it's immediate, all the way up distant future, it's going to open the doorways of, well, this is why we need more of this. This is why every war does that. Every war does that. Every type of threat afterwards. Well, to try to keep from that ever happening again, we gotta have this. We gotta spy on you. We gotta control this. We gotta take this. We need more of your money. All of this kind of stuff. So this is trying to have a neutral position on Iran, Israel, wars, all this kind of stuff. To me, I think that's a more plausible explanation of what's going on. Remember that most all wars are funded by the same people. These people that, when they're at war, they're going to kill each other. They want to bomb each other, but yet the leaders all hang out at the same dinner parties and the same little club meetings, and they sit next to each other. It's all a big scam. It's the same way in the corporate world, right? Coca-Cola and Pepsi, they're at odds with each other. They're trying to outsell each other, but their CEOs are members of the same clubs, same country clubs. They go golfing together. They hang out at the same spas. They go, and the people on the ground that are, I drink Coke, I drink Pepsi. Oh yeah, we don't like you, but their CEOs, they're all buddies. And it's the same way with politics and government. You and I, they have to keep us busy, right? They have to keep the cattle. I'm not saying we are. I'm just saying that's how they look at us. They have to keep the cattle busy being productive, right? They want them to be just scared enough that they're not going to try to jump the fence and disobey the farmer, right? But they want us just productive enough that we're making it profitable for the farmer. It's this balance, right? It's this balance. The farmer, let's say he's got dairy cattle. Could those cows be more productive if you just let them loose to where they're more enjoyable life and they can eat whatever they find because they're roaming free? Maybe, but then you can't keep control of them. So there's this balance, and we're right in the middle of it. Being able to see through that kind of stuff and not get caught up into these emotional battles where we're focused on this person saying this and this person saying this, and that's where it is right now. There's probably more effort right now being put into arguing a point of whether or not we should support Donald Trump's going to war with Israel, or we should convince otherwise, then there is actual effort being put into the thing at hand. This is the psyop, folks. This is how these things play out, to keep you busy armchair quarterbacking so that they can actually get the things done they want to get done behind our backs. And we need to be aware of that. So my suggestion is to recognize that because these things are happening, then that must mean that there are big bad things either happening in the background or are planned for our future. So they need this to happen. They need this war. They need this, chaotic destruction, this fear that, this nation is just a week away from producing a nuke. I mean, they've been a week away for 30, 40 years now, but they're still just a week away. I saw something yesterday in the news that Iran is, I think it was like a week away from being able to develop the trigger system to use a nuclear weapon. I'm thinking, well, wait a minute. If they'd been a week away for all this time, they haven't developed a trigger system yet? I mean, come on. Can't you just download that off the internet somewhere and use your 3D printer and make a trigger? I'm just joking. But it's the fear, it's the hype. They have to be needed, they have to be in control, and they is all of they. And with the hopes that the majority of us are buying into it. And so my suggestion is, don't buy into all the hype and the fear. Is there a threat? 100% there's a threat. There always is. Is there an increased threat than normal? Yeah, probably. There's probably an increased threat that there could be violence in the American streets, that there could be terrorist attacks. There's, all this kind of stuff. That's all a very real possibility. And all of that is the reason why that we should continually get ready. They, the ones that are running the place, not you, they're working harder than ever to take control. And it doesn't matter if it's taking control, that the conservative side is taking control, or the liberal side, or the globalist, or the nationalist, or they're all two sides of the same coin. It's two big wings on the same bird. They're working to take more control of your life. And if you want to argue against me on that, I can show you plenty of reasons to say that the Trump administration, the conservatives and stuff, they're doing the same thing to try to take more control of your life. We have to understand that and realize that and prepare against that. This is why self-sufficiency is more important now than ever, and building strong relationships with people that you can work together to be self-sufficient, right? That's the best thing that I can tell you. Have a plan. Be prepared. Stock up. Develop the skills to be able to be prepared and to be self-sufficient, because it's not easy. And then stay open-minded about what is going on and not get caught up in the emotional battle of this side, that side, got to do this, got to do that. Try to see through that, because there's so much going on right now, and it's I'd say most of it's propaganda and psyops. All right, folks, it's time to get your houses in order and prepare yourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next video.